Welcome to another CPG webcast, a service of CPGmatters. I'm your host, John Karolefski. Thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about the annual planning process. Consumer goods manufacturers focus on margins and profitability. Having a solid annual planning process to create a trade promotion plan for the coming year is critical. The plan would be signed, sealed, and delivered if it weren't for the variables that throw curveballs at annual planning efforts. Joining me now to discuss those curveballs and more is Joel Cartwright, Director of Product Development for TPM Retail with AFS Technologies. So Joel, who needs to be engaged in the annual planning process?
Multiple departments of a company. The sales team, finance, supply chain, and marketing need to be engaged. They must buy into the process and support it throughout its life cycle in the value chain. Sales objectives, volume objectives, and contribution objectives are pushed down from senior management during the annual planning process. Specific deals have to be run as is at the defined time, while other promotions have the discretion to look to get the best combinations of sales, profitability, and to stay within budget.
That sounds like a lot of variables.
Well, that's true. A process has to take into account a massive amount of information from different departments and external sources from previous years' sales figures, performance data, costs associated to promotions, and post-event analysis reports. Then they have to look at current and future events to estimate and predict future market conditions with consumers and their retail partners. For each product, there needs to be an understanding regarding its appeal and demand level. Having an annual plan that works in a vacuum only for the manufacturer will generally not fly with their retail partners and ultimately won't play out for a win with the consumer.
Okay, well, tell us about the value of scenario planning and how that fits into the process.
Sure. Scenario planning allows a business to look at many different ways to get its product front and center with consumers. It allows them to make better decisions when optimizing their promotion. With every promotion, there are associated costs that fluctuate based on variables of volume, logistics, and the supply chain that impact the business. And these are critical aspects that need to be considered. Companies will use scenario planning to complement their annual planning roadmap. It works in collaboration with their partners to adjust promotions on an ongoing basis to make sure promotion objectives are achieved with benefit to the manufacturer, its retail partners, and ultimately the consumer.
Does that always work out well, Joel?
No. Sometimes the best intentions of a promotion fall flat. They have to be reevaluated and recrafted to try and move product and achieve objectives.
Okay, well, tell us about the kinds of data sources that are used in scenario planning.
Data is pulled from a variety of sources, historical promotions that are relevant to an upcoming event, and from mirrored promotions from prior years. Current events and market conditions all provide data to help make better decisions. Your TPM tool can quickly show you how effective and profitable a prior year's promotions with a specific retail partner have been, and if there are events with different partners that can be mapped to use this time around. As you are preparing for a future event, understanding consumer trends, market conditions, and reports all affect variables in a promotion and have to be taken into consideration.
Joel, is there an ideal process workflow that companies should follow?
The basic approach to scenario planning is to know your company's core competencies and make sure companies stand out. What brands drive your bottom line? Understand the people who need to engage in the process. Get them engaged so you can agree on the right choice of a campaign. Know your organization's planning strategy and what advantage you have in the marketplace that drives your business. Look at market trends and evaluate the opportunity with the best information on hand. Then you will be able to run scenarios for promotions and be able to get to a decision efficiently and expeditiously that will work for all parties involved.
Well, that sounds like great advice. Meanwhile, I'm sure technology has changed scenario planning. Tell us how.
Over the last few years, the value of scenario planning to complement the annual planning process has created demand from users to have functionality tied into their TPM tools so they can be flexible and offer retailers options and alternatives with trade promotions. Scenario planning for most consumer goods manufacturers still reside within Excel documents. However, with many TPM software solutions incorporating scenario planning into their systems, there is a shift taking place to move to software that can provide deeper insights more quickly than with Excel and with a lot less work. Before scenario planning was integrated into a solution, or if a manufacturer is using Excel spreadsheets, scenario planning would be created in Excel. Once approved, it would have to be replicated back into the TPM tool. This adds extra steps to the process that comes with a cost of business that would ultimately affect the ROI of the promotions in a negative way.
Joel, we're getting a lot of good information about scenario planning. Key question, how beneficial is it?
Scenario planning within a software solution directly reworking the annual planning program lets the promotions department make sure its trade promotions are efficient. Nobody wants to spend too much without achieving their goals and being profitable. It lets you enter draft views and scenarios into the annual plan without them going live immediately or foreseeing how they move the needle. It is a way for account reps to allocate their budget and spend it with their partners to get the most beneficial result. It helps build a more efficient and optimized calendar. In cases when a retailer approaches a manufacturer with an opening for a promotion, scenario planning gives the manufacturer the ability to quickly evaluate if it can work within their budget and if such a promotion makes sense for them at this moment in time. For bigger retailers, a manufacturer would want to be able to offer a variety of scenarios so they can find a promotion that also fits with that retail partner.
Well, scenario planning sounds like a great business process. Any closing thoughts?
There is a consensus opinion within the industry that trade spending is inappropriately high for the return on investment. After leveling off in 2010, trade promotion management spending still stands at around 20% of a company's revenue. So finding ways to trim even small amounts can lower that number and add to a company's bottom line for reinvestment back into the business. Combine the spend with the insight that 40% of all promotions do not achieve the desired result, and you cannot afford to ignore the latest functionality and options available for scenario planning inside trade promotion management tools.
Thanks, Joel. To follow up with Joel Cartwright, you can call him at 859-652-5574 or send him an email at joel.cartwright@afsi.com. For more information about AFS technologies, please visit afsi.com. Until the next time, this is John Karolefski signing off for CPG Matters and AFS Technologies.